Hello and welcome to Tray Work, Now, Next and Visual Support Systems. Today we're going to be looking at definitions and principles for use, why we use Now and Next cards and why we use Tray Work systems, when it would be appropriate to use them and some examples of them. Firstly, we are going to look at what is a Now and Next board. Now and Next boards are visual supports used for a wide range of people and children with varying impairments, including language and communication difficulties, behaviour issues, dementia, or a variety of special educational needs. It is a board with Now on the left-hand side and Next on the right-hand side. You can use a plain piece of paper, a laminated piece of paper, or a whiteboard. The Now and Next card can be expanded to be Now, Next and Then for children, young people or adults who can cope with the extended piece of information. They vary in their complexity depending on the level of understanding that the user has. They support receptive communication by helping pupils to process and anticipate upcoming events. This helps reduce potential anxiety and process requests. It helps them make sense of the sequence of events and structure of their activity. It supports understanding of learning, expectations, and expected outcomes. Next, we are going to look at why we use Now and Next boards. Now and Next boards support functional communication skills for expressive and receptive communication. They support receptive communication by helping pupils to process and anticipate upcoming events. For example, in the classroom, the pupil will understand what is happening now and what will be happening next. They improve expressive communication by developing the learner's ability to make choices. For example, on a Now, Next and Then card, the pupil may be able to choose what happens then after completing Now and Next. The Now and Next cards help reduce potential anxiety and process requests. They help make sense of a sequence of events or structure of an activity. They support understanding of learning expectations and expected outcomes. They provide routine and structure, and they are able to promote independence by allowing the pupils to see on a visual board what is happening and what is expected of them, so the teacher or the teaching assistant is not forced to continually repeat this. Here we have an example of a Now and Next board. As you can see, it is a laminated piece of paper for ease of use, with PEC symbols and with the words first and then. We do not always have to use Now and Next. We can use whatever works for the particular young person or child you are helping. Here you can see another example of a Now and Next board. Here we have the words Now and Next that also have symbols above them for ease of understanding. The Now and Next symbols underneath are lunch and going out, which also have a symbol and the word underneath. These are usually stuck on with Velcro, so they are easy to change and swap in and out. Here we see yet another example of a Now and Next board. This one has a purple background for contrast and uses slightly different symbols. It is important that we think about what symbols we use for the young people or child they are working with. Are they able to access words? Do they need symbols? Do they need photographs of the physical place or thing that they are going to do? Or do they need an object of reference, a physical, tangible thing that they can touch? For example, if they are next going to break time in the playground, you could have a ball that symbolises going outside into the playground. Now we have an example of a Now, Next and Then card, and underneath we have two finished symbols. The finish symbols could be used to promote independence. So the young person or child, once they have finished what is in now, they could hand you the finish symbol. And then once they have finished what is next, they could hand you the second finish symbol, and then could be their reward. Now we're going to look at why we might use work trays in the classroom. Work trays develop functional cognition and learning skills. They develop the understanding of expected learning and learning outcomes, and they teach learning how to learn. They promote pupil independence, they can increase confidence, they can generalize skills, and they can improve transferable skills. Here is an example of a workstation setup. As you can see, there is a table with two baskets on, one green and one red. The green is for the work that needs to be done, and the red is for the work that has been done and is finished. You can see above the baskets and tables there is a work timetable with colour coordinated symbols on, which shows the pupil in which order they need to do the pieces of work. On the left of the table, there are the pieces of work in the colour coordinated trays. The pupil would sit at the table. They would take the first piece of work, which is the red piece of work. They would put it in the green tray to do. They would take it out. They would complete the work and they would put it in the red tray. They would then go back to the timetable, take off the red symbol because that is finished. They would go down to the next one, which is the yellow symbol. They would get the yellow tray out, put it in the green basket, complete the work that is in the green basket, put it in the red basket to show that it is finished. They would go back to their timetable, take the yellow symbol off, put it in the finish box at the bottom, then they would go back to the blue symbol, which is the next piece of work they need to complete. Here is another example of a workstation setup. It follows the same principles as that on the previous slide, however it's a much simpler version. It is important to think about what resources you have in your setting that you would be able to use to do this. As you can see here, we have three trays with three numbers and three colour coordinated symbols. They correspond to the timetable below it to show the young person or child what order the work needs to be done in. There is also a space for finish work on the right. As you can see, the work that they are being asked to complete is quite simple. It is generally a matching activity. This is something that will be able to be done by the child independently, on their own, and without supervision. It's important to remember when giving a pupil tray work to complete that it is something they can do independently. When thinking about setting up a work system for your child or young person, you may decide that the generic tray system is not going to work for that young person. You may feel that their cognitive development is at a different stage and they may need something similar to what you can see in the picture now. You may feel that you can simply give them 4 tasks and a tick sheet and they can tick off each task as they complete it and they can have a reward after they have done their work. It very much depends on your child and your knowledge of that child. Shared principles. So both resources, your tray work and your now and next boards, are functional communication systems. They provide structure and routine, and they can show consistency. You can individualise them for your pupils or young people, and they can both encourage independence within that young person, which in turn will build confidence and improve understanding, which hopefully will avoid frustration and anxiety. Tray work and now and next cards can make communication physical and consistent, rather than fleeting as spoken words can be. They will support visual learners who find processing verbal communication a challenge. They will teach independence, as the TA or teacher working with the young person will be able to move away from them and help other pupils, but also helping to teach the young person with the Now and Next card and the tray work to be independent of that adult. Finally, when would you use a Now and Next board? You may use a Now and Next board to support visual learners who find processing verbal communication challenging. For example, your young person may have a processing issue and they may need constant reminders of what they are doing and what is happening now and what will be happening next. So having a Now and Next card readily available to show that child will reduce their levels of anxiety and will help them understand what is happening. This in turn will support receptive communication and help that child or young person anticipate what is coming up next. If you have a young person who is anxious about particular situations, you may choose to use a Now and Next board to help preempt that anxiety and reduce it. If a child is anxious about a specific lesson or time of the day, you may choose to use a Now and Next board for them to show them what is happening now, what is coming up, and you may choose to have a then place so that they know that the activity or place that they don't like will come to an end and there is something happening after it. The Now and Next board can help pupils make sense of a sequence of events and structure of an activity. It can consolidate pupils' understanding of learning expectations and expected outcomes. The Now and Next board will help your child or young person understand what is happening within the classroom or within a specific activity. It will help them understand what is happening now and what they are expected to do and what is coming up next, so that they know that specific activity will come to an end. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation on Now and Next boards and tray work. For further videos and information, please see the CEATS YouTube channel.